Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, I'm stepping into the shoes of marketing strategist Adam Erhart to totally flip the script on how you grow your business. I'm going to share his proven frameworks, my frameworks for today, to show you exactly why consistency and keeping things ridiculously simple will always beat out those fancy, complex marketing tactics. If you're feeling like you're just spinning your wheels, desperately trying to keep up with every single new algorithm, platform, or sneaky growth hack, well, you're definitely in the right place. So let's kick things off with a pretty direct question for all you stressed out entrepreneurs watching. And hey, you know exactly who you are. You're out there suffering from major shiny object syndrome, right? Trying to literally be everywhere all at once. One week it's all about SEO, the next you're obsessed with TikTok, then you're trying to build this massive complicated email funnel, all while trying to juggle 5 completely different types of clients. You know, you started this business for freedom, but right now, it probably feels a whole lot more like a trap. And that brings us to the core dilemma. You might actually believe that the answer to your problems is just more. More channels, more offers, more hustle. But here's the reality. Trying to do absolutely everything inevitably just leads to this tangled, exhausting mess of burnout. The truly free entrepreneur, the one actually living the dream, understands that doing less is the real secret to personal, financial, and location freedom. It's all about precision, guys, not just sheer volume. All right, so here's our roadmap to methodically untangle and uncomplicate your business. We're going to cover the cost of overwhelm, why strategy beats fancy tactics, the clear offer formula, the amazing rule of one, traffic, conversion, and retention, and finally, overcoming marketing self-doubt. Okay, jumping right into part 1, the cost of overwhelm and how we move from burnout to actual freedom. Before I was consulting for massive brands, I was actually a professional business jet pilot. I know, it sounds super glamorous, right? But the reality was this wild, completely exhausting schedule that basically kept me away from my family all the time. I had this massive realization that true wealth wasn't about flashy cars or vanity metrics on social media. No, I had to replace chasing money with chasing freedom, specifically the freedom to work from literally anywhere. But to actually achieve that, I had to completely overhaul my whole approach. I realized I couldn't just build another job that was going to burn me out. I needed to build a ruthlessly simplified, totally sustainable system. Which leads us straight into part 2, strategy beats fancy tactics, and why you need to start doubling down on what actually works. So let's talk about the critical difference between the marketing actions you're taking and the actual master plan you're supposedly following. Look, most business owners are completely obsessed with tactics, and they totally miss the bigger strategy. But tactics without a solid strategy, that's really just noise. It's motion that's getting you absolutely nowhere fast. Tweaking a button color on your website or jumping on a trending audio clip, those are just tactics. But choosing the right battlefield to fight on in the first place, that is strategy. This is exactly why I constantly insist you shouldn't just pivot to a new channel every 5 minutes. When you find something that actually generates leads, you don't go looking for the next shiny new toy. You double down. Think of your marketing efforts in 3 distinct stages. First, you've got the minimum effective dose. This is like, spending $5 a day on ads. It's simply not enough to get any real actionable data. But right there in the middle, that is the sweet spot. If a channel is driving sales for you, you need to increase your frequency and bump up your budget right there, in that sweet spot. You push that winning channel as hard as you possibly can until you safely hit that third stage, diminishing returns. The crazy thing is, most entrepreneurs just quit a channel way before they ever even reach that sweet spot, mostly because they're spreading their budget and their precious energy far too thin. Moving right along to part 3, the clear offer formula, or how to eradicate confusion for good. Okay, so to really capitalize on those working channels we just talked about, you need messaging that instantly hooks your ideal client. Because let's face it, if your message is vague, you are instantly forgettable. So grab a pen and write this highly profitable formula down. We do X for Y so they can Z without W. Seriously, this formula is a game changer. It absolutely forces you to define your target market, their specific problem, their big desired outcome, and, this is key, the painful thing they desperately want to avoid. You can't just vaguely promise, oh, we have great customer service. No way. You have to be ruthlessly specific. Let me give you a concrete example that I use with my clients all the time. Instead of a marketing agency saying something boring like, we do digital marketing for local businesses, they say, we help doggy daycares with social media video so they can attract pet owners without wasting time on ineffective strategies. Boom, right? I mean, if you own a doggy daycare and you hear that, you are instantly leaning in. This formula creates this laser-focused, totally irresistible pitch that cuts straight through all the online noise.
All right, part 4, the rule of one. This is your remarkably simple path to 7 figures.
So now that your offer is crystal clear, it is time to strip away the absolute chaos of your daily operations. Enter the rule of one. You choose one ideal customer. You sell them one specific offer. You drive attention using one primary traffic source, like master Instagram completely before you even dare look at LinkedIn, right? You capture their email with one lead magnet, and you sell to them using one single conversion mechanism, like a dedicated sales call or a specific checkout page. I can absolutely promise you that spending 10 hours mastering this single, narrow path will easily outsell spreading yourself thin across 10 different platforms for 1 hour each. Depth will always beat width.
And if you look closely at what the most successful people actually did during their rise to the top, and I mean doing what they did to get there, not what they do now that they have massive teams doing the work for them, you'll realize they ruthlessly reduced their focus. The answer is absolutely not more. It's less. A whole lot less. Which brings us to part 5, traffic, conversion, and retention, the real engine of your business. Once your business is fully pared down to the essentials through the rule of one, how do you actually make the money? Well, first off, ignore those complex 500-step funnels that the online gurus are always trying to sell you. 90% of your success relies on just 3 fundamental pillars. Number 1 is traffic. You need a solid, reliable way to get your message right in front of your ideal client. Number 2 is conversion. You need a mechanism to actually turn those eyeballs into leads and then leads into paying clients. And number 3 is retention, building an ongoing, genuine relationship to increase that lifetime value. Honestly, get any of these wrong and you're going to stagnate. But nail them, and you've just built the unbreakable foundation of a 7-figure business. Now, the underlying engine that actually fuels all 3 of these pillars, that's content creation. Content is exactly what captures attention organically. Think of it as a bridge of trust. By simply taking the time to answer your customers' most pressing questions through a quick video or some written content, you are building this massive amount of goodwill before you ever even ask for a sale. You basically transform from just another vendor pushing a product into a highly trusted advisor. And finally, part 6, overcoming marketing self-doubt. This is the inner game. Look, you can have the absolute perfect target market, the most brilliant offer, and a completely dialed-in content engine, but it all falls apart if you don't confidently execute on it. I always try to emphasize this one powerful truth. When you strip away the noise of complex marketing, like when you're no longer hiding behind tweaking your website logo for the 50th time, you're left with the raw discomfort and the very real fear of actually hitting publish. You just have to put yourself out there. Remember, courage isn't the magical absence of fear, it's the action you take in spite of the fear you're already feeling. This ultimately means that your marketing is essentially a mirror. It reflects exactly how you see your business and, frankly, how you see yourself. If you're out there watering down your message just to avoid offending anyone, or if you're secretly unsure about the prices you're charging, guess what? Your audience is going to instantly sense that lack of conviction. If you hesitate, they're going to hesitate to buy. It's that simple. Fixing a marketing problem very often starts with fixing a mindset problem first. So I'm going to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Take a really hard look at your strategy today. Are you simply hiding behind complicated marketing tactics because you secretly lack belief in your own offer? Or are you finally ready to simplify your approach, step up to the plate, and truly own your value? Remember, the path to real freedom is less, not more. So go out there, clear the clutter, and apply the rule of one.